this.
Nah,
Meryl
she
grabs
is.
some silver and threatens to use it against Truman,
She
but
is.
Truman turns it on her. And in her panic, Meryl screams up to the sky,
Yeah.
"Do something!" This
Yep.
confuses
Well, I
Truman
told you.
even more.
But the thing is, who the f is Truman, gang? Why is they doing it to him? What type of special powers does he got? VG the Junkie is here. We watching the scariest movie I ever watched by DerekFDB. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when it comes to scary movies, yo, gang, you might as well take my pants down, take my ass. I am not good with them whatsoever, gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, I promise you, I gotta be in a room with 30 other people for me to even take it serious, gang, or otherwise I'm leaving immediately, gang. I'm gone, no hesitation. And make sure you go and follow my Twitch, you know what I'm saying? I'm live there almost every day, you know what I'm saying? You'll see reaction, gaming, all types of shit, bro. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? You'll have a fun time there. And he said this is the scariest movie he ever watched, so we gonna see what he talking about.
It's no secret that I didn't like horror movies growing up.
Oh,
They
you
scared
like
me.
me too.
But what if I told you the scariest movie I ever watched wasn't a horror movie at all? It wasn't the movie that haunted me as a kid, or even the one that scarred me as an adult. Instead, it was a movie that's a little out of the ordinary.
Good morning!
But why?
The Truman
How?
Show.
How did such an innocent looking movie scare me so much? Well, I'm gonna show you. Today, I'm gonna
Sorry.
go over the Truman Show. My
Sorry.
goal by the end of this video to help you truly understand why it's the scariest movie
Please
I've
let me
ever
know,
watched.
because I never heard this movie in my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he's trolling or like he being dead, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna be alone in this. And what better place to start than at the very beginning? We open up the movie with our very ordinary main character, Truman Burbank, talking to himself in the mirror, as ordinary people do. And Truman is just your average Joe. He actually might be better than one. He wakes up in a jolly mood, greets his neighbors with a big smile on his face,
Hey.
holds the door for people at work. I mean, it's Jim Carrey.
Okay,
How
okay.
can you not like him?
Okay,
He's just
he
a
cool-
good
he a
guy
cool
surrounded
dude.
by good people
He a cool
in a very
dude. That's
nice,
twin.
ordinary town.
That's
at
twin.
least. That's how it seemed at first. Until one day while going about his regular routine, you know, greeting his neighbors, greeting the dog, going Truman here.
Is he like a Dexter type of guy? You know what I'm saying? Like he like the Dexter type of where he just trying to make everybody think he the nice whole time. He a real ass nigga. Like he real devious with it. Or I'm just talking out my so you know what I'm saying? One of the two. Let me know.
There's something coming from the sky. Then a loud crash on the road right next to him. He goes to investigate, and it's some sort of studio.
Serious 9can.
I'm sure it's nothing. After that silly little incident, we see Truman go about his day and go to work. And see, even the radio conveniently said it was nothing. It was just some plane cargo that fell out the sky.
No,
See,
facts,
I told y'all
facts.
it was nothing to worry about.
Facts,
Just
facts.
plain.
All my life, something fall like that out of the sky, gang. You might as well take me off the earth, gang. I'm not playing like that, my nigga. Niggas talk about it's nothing, gang. That fat ass microphone, serious can just dropped out of the sky and we don't know where it came from, gang. You talk about it's nothing. Is you crazy, my nigga? What is we doing?
Cargo. Just plain cargo. And while Truman is on the way to work, this is when you get a really good look at the town that Truman lives in, Sea Haven. And I see why it's considered a haven, because it looks great. Freshly cut grass, no heavy traffic in sight, no dog boo-boo on the sidewalks, not even a single crackhead. It's perfect. A little too perfect. After picking up a magazine and a conversation with these kind of aggressive twins, all right, bro, you don't gotta push me. We can stop and talk. Just ask. We see Truman at work. And after some dude shows Truman a newspaper saying their town is the best place on earth, okay, buddy. I said it's perfect, but not that perfect. We see Truman on the phone with someone asking for a lady named Lauren Garland or Sylvia Garland.
Lauren Garland?
I don't think that's his wife's name. When Truman is interrupted by his manager who tells him he has to handle some work at the harbor, which may seem like it's, you know, whatever. But we see Truman is hesitant to do this job. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because Truman, like some of you probably watching this, is scared of the ocean. And not like, oh, I'm scared to go into deep water, or oh, I'm scared a shark gonna take a chunk off my butt. No. This is like me and dolls, woman and Axe body spray wearers, rod wave and a salad. Truman is not even comfortable going near it. He won't travel on it, won't stand on structures built over it, and he's definitely not dipping his toes in it. Nada. And again, you might be wondering, why? Why is he so afraid?
Because he's a creature that can't go inside the water. like I'm thinking, bro. I really be thinking. I already know the whole plot before he even told me what it was.
Well, we get our answer that very same day. When later at night, after a convo with his best friend Marlon about leaving Sea Haven to go to Fiji. Really? Fiji? You don't want to weigh your options?
Damn,
Maybe Greece, Japan?
That's what I'm saying, like Fiji, my nigga. Who live in Fiji? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, like, that around my name and shit. You want to be with me as close as possible, but you got, like, nigga, nobody go to Fiji. And, like, what?
Well, at least Detroit got the Pistons and Corey Kenshin. I'm going there before I get up and leave to Fiji. What's in Fiji? We see Truman sitting by the beach, reminiscing. Dang, that moon's really detailed. Reminiscing about what, you may ask? Well, his fear of the ocean. It turns out the reason Truman is terrified of it is not because the ocean almost drowned him or held his family for ransom or anything like that. It's because one day during a boating trip with his dad, Truman and him got caught in a powerful storm. So powerful that it knocked Truman's dad off the boat, and his dad didn't make it. So that's why Truman fears the ocean so much that he refuses to travel on it, even if it's for work.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean...
Hey, it be like that,
You win
bro.
some, you lose some. And while
be
Truman
like
is
that.
dramatically sitting on the
be like
beach,
that.
out of nowhere, another weird occurrence happens. When it
His dad
starts
popped
raining,
out.
but only on Truman. What the? Eventually it starts raining around him, but I'm sure
I
at
was
this
gonna
point,
say.
you can see there's some weird stuff going on in this perfect town Truman lives.
what's
And it
going on?
only becomes more clear as we continue. Truman comes home, clothes all soaked. And for the record, don't try this. Nothing good comes out of it. Unless good
Try
to
what?
you is an apology after a whooping. Just don't try it. Truman sits down with his wife Meryl and tries to convince her to come with him. They can leave together, explore the world. But Meryl tells him, no, Truman, we have bills to pay. A whole life here. We can't just leave it all behind. And
Now
I
he
thought
gonna
we
leave
were
his
gonna
wife.
try for a baby. Boring. I don't want no baby. I want to go to somewhere spontaneous, like
I'm
Block
saying,
or something.
nigga
After
trying
Meryl
to
turned
travel,
down Truman's
gang.
idea, we cut to the next day.
trying to
And this is
travel.
when stuff gets really weird.
He gonna kill his wife. Like, bruh, you telling me like they not setting up the system where he's gonna kill somebody, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? The town is leading him into that system, my nigga. Like, you not listening for real, bro. Like,
We
let's
again
be
see
honest.
Truman do his normal routine, you know, say hello to the neighbor, drives to work, picks up his magazine, all that stuff. But as
same
Truman is heading
routine,
into
same
work this time, out of nowhere in this crackhead-free
Whoa.
town, he sees what looks like a crackhead, or
Whoa.
at least a meth head, right in the middle of this busy street. And to
look
those of you who don't deal with these kind of people
bedazzled.
often, don't worry, they're harmless. Most of the time.
Yeah,
So
I
the
ain't
weird-
gonna lie. Look, if I ever see a crackhead, you know what I'm saying, white as outside soon as
It's been a witness.
outside the gas station while I walk out, my nigga, and he telling me to come here, my nigga, not even come here. He just in front of my face saying, "Let me talk to you." I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour, nigga. It could be the whole day, my nigga. I'm going to listen. You know why? Them niggas be dangerous, gang. They got that shit on them, gang. I promise you, bro. Next thing you know, bro, you try to walk away, this nigga gonna wipe his ass and just put that shit in your mouth, gang. On my life. He can bring a knife full of rabies on that bitch and stab you with that motherfucker if you don't listen, my nigga, all my life. You gotta be careful with them crackheads, bro. I'm telling you.
Weird part isn't that people are ignoring him. That's normal. I do it all the time. The weird part is when Truman gets close to the crackhead and realizes it's his dad. Then out of nowhere, while Truman's trying to figure out what the heck is going on, these two people drag the man away. Truman chases after them, but after a bunch of convenient
shit.
obstacles getting in his way, a bus takes his potential father away.
Shit.
This combo with all the weird stuff happening lately, yeah,
Whoa.
Truman had questions. So he goes to the one person we all go to when we need answers, our mama. Truman tells his mom that he saw his dad dressed on the street as a homeless dude for some reason, and his mama tells him, "Oh, Truman,
She don't
you
believe that
tripping.
bullshit.
Your daddy ain't homeless. He ain't even alive." Truman tells her it was him. I know it was. But she tells him, "Look, Truman, you're
don't
just feeling
believe that.
guilty about the boating trip.
What if
That
she
may or
was
may
in
not
on
have
it
been
too?
your fault. But I don't blame you, Truman.
What if she was
I don't
in on it
judge
too?
you."
She probably
But it
in
was
on it too.
late. Not even the words
The
of his
whole
mama could
nah,
stop.
the whole town know that his daddy is alive. They don't want to tell him though because he got some special, my nigga. Like I think, and his mama find out, so they try to maneuver some shit where he could die, my nigga. I don't know, bro. I'm just
Who's
talking
believing
about my
Truman
bro.
at this point? A suspicion of the world around him. Once Truman gets home, we learn these events aren't the first time weird occurrences like this have happened to him. You see, something even weirder happened to him back in his more youthful days. We get a flashback to Truman in high school when he was a part of the band. I was more of an art class kind of guy myself, but band did seem fun.
Nigga like me was more of a gym type of nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Never theater though. I'll never be a thief.
Yeah,
and as you can
that's
tell,
far from
he
now.
does not look like a high schooler. Man, I thought Euphoria and Grease high schoolers looked old. Look
Bro,
at
I'll
Marlon.
tell you,
We
they
see
be
what's
making
supposed
30-year-olds
to
act
be a
like
young
high
Truman
schoolers,
lock eyes with this girl who was staring at him. And not to brag, but I received this
that
look
his future
plenty
wife?
of times. So when I first saw this, I knew.
You
it
better
was
than me,
mine.
cause I ain't getting none of that shit. I stare at a woman, the way she turn around so damn fast, my nigga, you would have thought she was the Flash, gang. Let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happened with me.
At first sight. Oh, you think I'm lying? I am. Still
Type
love at
shit.
first sight though.
You just
While
like me,
Truman
twin.
and this mystery girl are making out with their eyes, they're interrupted by Truman's future wife. Yay. But that was only the start of
Why
Truman's
they
connection
do
with the
that?
mysterious girl. We then cut to Truman's prom. Come on, bro. They're not even trying to hide it. This dude in the back is balding. When suddenly, he sees a familiar bracelet. It's the mystery girl again. But instead of this time her magically vanishing when Truman gets distracted, she
Yeah.
gets taken away by some, I don't know, some random security from the
what the
prom? Come on, bro. That's just jealousy. But don't
Yeah.
worry. Truman runs into this mysterious lady one more time in the library, where he finds out her name is no other than Lauren Garland.
Lauren Garland.
The lady Truman was asking
Oh,
for earlier
shit.
on the phone, this is her. But why was
nah,
he
this
asking
nigga
for
tryna-
her?
this
What
nigga tryna
happened to
cheat
her?
on his
What
wife?
was the weirder thing that happens in this flashback? Can you stop asking so many questions? I'm
fault.
getting to that.
My
Lauren
fault,
tells
son.
Truman they shouldn't be speaking. Forbidden love. Truman asks, why? Oh, you have a boyfriend. That's where it is. Oh, what did that girl you saw me at the dance with? Oh, come on.
Oh,
That's
she ain't nothing serious.
Meryl. I don't even
That's what
really
I'm
like
saying,
her.
like,
that.
bro, she
She's
ain't
just
nothing
kinda
for her, like-
there, you know?
Yeah,
And before
like-
Truman can continue questioning, Lauren tells them they should go to the beach. Now. Which probably had
Now.
Truman thinking he was about to go skinny dipping or something. So he agrees. They arrive at the beach, and after a shared kiss, geez, y'all see each
Damn.
other 3 times. You don't even know
like,
my favorite color,
nigga,
Truman.
3 times and you kiss it, like you tongue kiss it all up in that motherfucker, gang. Nah, nigga was different back then, bro. All my life, bro.
Lauren tells Truman they'll be here soon. Wait, who will be here? And she tells Truman his whole reality is fake. They know everything he does at all times. Everyone is pretending. And her name isn't even Lauren. It's Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Like Sylvia Garland. Someone goes to get Sylvia, claiming to be her father and saying she has schizophrenia. But Sylvia persists, saying everything's
Nah.
fake. The sand, the sun,
You gotta
the moon.
find Sylvia.
I knew it was too detailed.
Yeah, that be it.
Truman is confused and asks her dad where they're going. And he says, Fiji. This moment was mind-blowing on the first watch.
Oh my
'Cause
gosh.
this is when we realized the crazy
gosh.
possibility that Truman doesn't love his wife at all. And also, the world he lives in
Yes,
might
it's
be
fake.
Either way, all these weird
fake.
occurrences reminded Truman of Sylvia and made him even more
Nigga,
suspicious
they gotta
of the
go to
world around.
Fiji.
Suddenly, he starts noticing even more things. The radio malfunctioning and picking up what sounds like someone announcing his exact location. Newspapers conveniently talking about the homelessness issue in the city after he saw that crackhead. And craziest of all, cars stopping for him in traffic. Actually, Truman, I think that last one happens regardless.
Yeah.
Truman's suspicion was at an all-time high. He even switches routes to see how the people in town will react, discovering what looks like to be a set. Truman was spiraling, so he decides to go to
gosh.
someone else he could always talk to, his best friend Marlon. They say and watch the sunset as Truman
that
expresses
that
all his
nigga
concerns,
in on it
and he
too.
asks Marlon how traveling outside of Sea Haven was. And Marlon tells him he went all over the world, but nothing was like this place. See,
over the
again
world?
with the cap.
Yeah,
I haven't
see?
seen a single Italian spot,
come on, bro.
Mediterranean spot,
Like,
Mexican
bruh,
spot.
He ain't really had that Haitian Chinese food, bro. Like, let's be honest, my nigga. This nigga talking about some this safe haven. Like, come on, gang. What the fuck y'all niggas be eating over there in that bitch, bro? I know damn well you ain't seen no bad foreign woman in your life talking like that. You saying safe haven the best, bro. Stop talking like that. He ain't really traveled for real, bro. This nigga went from Antarctica back to safe haven, gang. Call that shit a journey.
I try to tell me you have the title for the best place in the world? Yeah, right.
No, come on,
Burger
bro.
and fries can't hold you up for that long. We
what
then
I'm
also
saying.
see Truman spending time with some more people he actually trusts, his mom and his wife. They're going through their photo albums together.
Nah, this nigga got a hatred for his life. But I think she cool. Like, she just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Even though she a fake. She fake as hell, but like, I think she chilling. I gotta watch the movie to like understand where he
You
comes
know,
from.
baby photos, childhood photos, wedding photos. And this scene is adorable. I used to love doing this with my mom back in the day. Tragically though, I was a fat baby. And it looked like this worked. All this reminiscing on the good times makes Truman think, you know what? Maybe he was tripping. Maybe instead of worrying about trying to go to Fiji, he should just appreciate what he has here in Sea Haven.
Nigga like me going to
that's
Fiji, though.
At least that is what he felt for a moment.
Yeah.
Until Truman looked over at the wedding photo with his wife and noticed Her fingers were crossed. Yeah. If I said Truman's suspicions were at an all-time high before, this brought it to a whole new level. He started questioning where his wife even goes when she goes to work. He starts noticing patterns in the neighborhood. The same man, same woman, same car, going around the block over and over and over again. This was the final straw. Truman knew he had to leave for Fiji. But when he gets to the travel agent, she conveniently tells him everything is sold out.
Wow.
Then when he goes to take the bus out of town, the bus breaks down.
Y'all
see what it's looking like, right? After realizing he's out of option, Truman takes things into his own hands.
Nigga like me would just walk there. That is me. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm telling you, my calves would look like some Thanos arms, gang. I'm telling you, by the time I get to Fiji, my nigga, I'm gonna start swimming in that bitch. Michael Phelps.
Afternoon, while showing Meryl the patterns he's been witnessing these last few days, he decides, you know what? Let's go to Fiji right now. Locks the car and starts driving. Is this kidnapping or would it be considered romantic because they're married? Truman takes Meryl on a joyride, and she trying to get away. Like he has lost his mind. Thought he was about to start tweeting, but he didn't. In fact, Truman was more sharp and perceptive than ever. He noticed all of a sudden now that he's trying to leave, there's a traffic jam. How convenient. So Truman decides, you know what? Let's just go home. Psych! Truman flew.
Got it.
Now the road was clear, and there was nothing to stop him. Truman drove nearly all the way out of town until the ocean. Truman and Meryl stare at this bridge, and Meryl tells Truman, "Let's go home. You know you can't drive over water."
Nah, you him.
Meryl, yes,
him.
Truman.
You got
this. Truman closes his eyes and makes Meryl drive the car through the bridge by herself. Yeah, they make it. They're out of the town. Truman has finally left that weird place.
Truman.
But a few minutes into their drive, after we see Meryl complain about the whole idea, you know, your mother won't like this one bit, Truman. Truman and Meryl are stopped by the authorities. Don't worry, they're not in trouble. I mean, look at them. There was apparently a leak at this power plant, and Truman asked the officer if there's any possible way for them to go around. The officer tells them, nah. Truman says, well, thanks for the help anyways. And the officer says, you're welcome. Truman. He said his name. How would he know his name? Truman starts freaking out and attempts to run away on foot. But alas, there was too many of them. So they captured Truman and sent him home. Truman back at home is on the brink of this to you? He starts asking Meryl why she even wants to have a kid with him when she clearly can't stand him. And Meryl gives the response I think any loving wife would give in this situation. She starts doing an ad placement. Truman is confused, but Meryl just keeps talking about some Mococo drink made from cocoa beans all the way from Mount Nicaragua. Truman loses it. He starts pressing Meryl, asking her what's happening, and convinces himself that she's a part of this. Meryl grabs some silver and threatens to use it against Truman, but Truman turns it on her. And in her panic, Meryl screams up to the sky, do something! This confuses Truman even more, making him question even more.
My nigga, but the thing is, who the fuck is that nigga Truman, gang? Why is they doing it to him? What type of special powers does he got? What type of maneuvers in his big ass did that he got? I'm not understanding. This is very confusing, bro. Like, yo, they gotta explain this.
Making him press her even more. But before things can escalate even further, we hear someone at their door.
Who?
Hey, it's our boy Marlon with a few cold ones.
Hey, we're good, twin.
Bad time. Truman and Marlon sit at their
crazy.
usual spot, and Truman tells Marlon he thinks he's losing his mind, and that he feels like the world revolves around him.
Your best friend in on it too.
He just called me a narcissist. Marlon starts telling Truman all this sentimental stuff about how they used to cheat off each other's papers.
Your
and how
best
he's like
friend in on it too.
And Marlon tells him if he thinks everyone is in on this big lie, wouldn't he have to be in on it too? This right here, these words, they did something to Truman. I'll explain in a second what I mean, because Truman and Marlon's chit chat wasn't over yet. Marlon tells Truman there's a reason he stopped by his crib tonight, and then that's when we see it. The crackhead from earlier, who was actually Truman's dad.
That's your daddy.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, Truman was sure. With what Marlon said a second ago, and now this, his father magically coming back to life, Truman was 1000% sure about what most of you guys are thinking right now. Truman is in a TV show. Yes, it's true. That's the whole thing that scares me with this movie. We learn from the creator of the show, Christoph, that Truman's life has been being broadcasted since he was a baby. Actually, even before that. Because Truman was also broadcasted when he was in the womb. Meaning, he's had this man Truman doing subathons since he was a zygote.
What the fuck? And he not getting paid not a single cent, my nigga? Oh my god! Yo, the thing is so crazy because it's like, bruh, since you was a baby, so like, was they videoing him showering? My nigga, if he tried to beat his meat, was they video showing that? They were showing that bit on the TV when he was yanking that motherfucker. Nah, that's crazy. They could have shown that, bro. Like, yo, this bit got to be rated R, my nigga. Like, you telling me they try to have sex? My nigga, they try to have a baby on live game? Is this nigga crazy?
Instead of it being for 30 days, it's been happening for the last 30 years. This would be absolutely terrifying.
Oh
Imagine
my
your
gosh.
mom, your dad, your siblings, your friends, bro, even your dog or cats, all of them, just actors. They don't care about you. When your dog would come to lick you or your cat would come to snuggle his head on you, he doesn't care. He's just trying to get his next check. But it doesn't end there. This whole you in a TV show thing also means your whole life, the one you are living right now, has been orchestrated. Planned out. All those times people roasted you, your first heartbreak, even that one job you took that summer that you absolutely
that's so crazy,
was really just a group of people in a writer's room like,
James, wouldn't it be funny if we made it so Derek has like a horrible accident when he's young and he's forced to get braces?
Nah,
I know.
Like, you know how like much evilness you gotta be for that to happen to you, gang? I ain't gonna lie, right? As soon as I figure that shit out, gang, like, am I wrong for like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas like literally like just made up your whole life like for the past 30 years, gang, just to find out, nigga, you was a TV star and you not getting paid a single cent off that bitch, my nigga. Your parents done sold your soul since you was in the womb, my nigga. That is so crazy to me, bro.
And then we can make his dad leave.
That's literally how the show works. And the main man running the show is Kristoff. We see him doing a Q&A, you know, them old school calling and asking questions, things like they used to do on the radio. And we learn this show is extremely popular. Like, forget Kai and Speed for a second. This dude Truman is the biggest streamer on earth. He even got people in Japan watching, which is another scary thing. Not the fact that they're Japanese, that's okay. Imagine 1.5 billion people. Wait, we don't gotta do that many. Imagine just 30 people, the size of a classroom, watching you day by day, week by week, year over year.
Just doing
all your
everything,
good moments,
gang.
your bad moments, and scariest of all, the moments you're doing
I'm
something
telling you,
like
that's crazy. Like, imagine finding that out, my nigga, 30 years, gang. You was just wagging that bit and niggas was watching that motherfucker. Nah, there's not shit for that, bro. I'm telling you, there's not.
Truman's puberty arc must have been real awkward to film. Kristoff is still answering incoming calls when we see him get a call from someone familiar. It's Sylvia, who we find out the whole time was actually an activist trying to free Truman from the show. Kristoff tells her that he's actually letting Truman live a normal life and that the real world is the sick place. Well, he is right about the real world being sick. Did y'all see they said GTA 6 might be $100? Like, what? He also tells Sylvia Truman can leave whenever he wants and that she's just mad that he prefers his cage. Right. Sylvia hangs up saying that Truman's gonna prove him wrong, and then we cut to the next day where it looks like the father thing worked. Truman's back to normal. He does his routine, goes to work. They even introduced a new love interest for him. Truman divorce arc coming soon. But when Truman gets home, he makes an interesting decision. He decides to sleep in the basement. And Kristoff notices this and tells the guy monitoring Truman to zoom in and isolate the audio. Ain't this the 90s? What kind of Spy Kids technology is this? They hear Truman snoring, but that wasn't enough for Kristoff, so he sends over Marlon. And when Marlon gets there, he discovers Truman is missing.
Yes, sir.
The town immediately goes into high alert panic mode. They check every camera, pull out every main character, side character, and extra. They even brought out the son. Still, they couldn't find Truman. Side note, I told y'all about them dogs. Dude went from super sweet to looking like Sonic Unleashed. Kristoff was panicking until he realized they weren't looking everywhere. They were missing one spot. One spot he never ever expected Truman to go. The ocean. And that's exactly where he was. On a boat sailing away to finally leave sea. Kristoff wasn't about to let that happen. Like something straight out of Hunger Games, he calls for this dude to cast a storm over Truman's boat. But Truman is resilient, so he holds on. Kristoff though.
Yo, my thing is like, my nigga, like, damn, y'all already got 30 years worth of content, my nigga. Why do you need more? I'm confused. Like, 30 years not enough, gang? This nigga can't just go. That nigga just chilling, bro. Like 30 years. You got 30 years, gang. You can rerun that bitch. My nigga, like 1.5 billion. Hey, gang, that's good enough. That's good enough. Yeah, you set for life. What the fuck you need more content for? I'm not understanding.
He's even more stubborn. He strikes Truman's boat with lightning over and over and over again. But Truman still stands.
There you go.
Starts singing. He tells them to up the winds and to capsize him. But the dude controlling it refuses to, knowing it could potentially kill Truman. So Kristoff does it himself. Powerful waves come crashing down on Truman's boat over and over and over again. Kristoff eventually calls off the waves, but it looked like it was too late. Until He's all right. He survived somehow.
There you go, Twin.
Probably got some fractures though.
Yeah,
now
I
with
ain't
no
gonna
one
lie,
trying
I
to
don't know how
stop
he
him,
tried.
Truman sails all the way till he runs into a wall, realizing the sky was really just a painted studio wall the whole time. See, this only proves my childhood theory that the sky is some sort of painting / hologram.
You think so? You think so?
I'm still working out the kinks. Truman walks along the water until he finds a staircase that leads to an exit sign. Truman Burbank, more like Truman Skywalker. Am I right, fellas? Before he can walk out, Kristoff starts speaking to him. He tells him the truth about how he's in a TV show and he's the star, and he also tells him that he knows him better than anybody else, and that he knows that he doesn't want to leave. He's too scared to.
Nah,
and Truman
leave.
delivers the perfect response that nobody was expecting.
What you said, Twin?
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And then he just leaves. So where? I have no clue. The movie ends with Sylvia running out to look for Truman.
Yeah.
Does she even know where she's going?
She
and
don't
these
know.
two dudes watching as the Truman Show cuts transmission for the first time ever. And then they're like, well,
For the first
What
time
else?
ever. Damn, 30 years, nigga. No type of cutoffs, gang. Like, you telling me the hurricanes, all the motherfucking earthquakes, you telling me no cutoffs, my nigga? This was the first ever in 30 years, gang? What type of technology? Nah, we need that. Nah, that's tough. We need that, bro.
they got on. Let's check. As you guys can see, this movie is very, very scary. Or
Bro,
at
that
least the
is
concept.
scary as
And it's
fuck,
very
bro.
worthy of the title, the scariest movie I've ever watched.
That's so
now,
scary.
the creepiest movie I ever watched.
Oh my
That's probably a
goodness.
horror movie. Comment
Yo,
down below.
I
any
ain't
more
gonna lie, bro. Like, what if I'm getting watched right now, my nigga? Is y'all part of this shit, nigga? Is y'all part of this shit too? Y'all watch me struggling on YouTube and think this shit funny, right? Y'all laughing every single time I post on YouTube, right? This shit funny, y'all niggas? Y'all in this too. Y'all been watching me for the past 21 years, right?
No.
movies you guys want me to go over, or DM me them on Instagram. Or you can put them in the Discord. I don't know.
shit,
Maybe you
tight
feeling
shit,
spontaneous.
tight shit,
And
tight
moral of the story,
And then we can make his dad leave.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was a crazy ass movie that I just heard of, gang. And just knowing that, I'm not watching that shit, gang. Look, I said I was gonna watch it, but I'm not. I'm a bitch. I'm a pussy ass nigga. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's just what it is, man. I don't know what else to tell you. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to that video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time, man.